Are you good?
I'm good.
We're good.
All right. Well, welcome you guys. Happy December. I cannot believe it's the end of another year. Holy moly. We're so excited to be with you for a little bit of time tonight as we have our Last Nation Zoom of the year. And you guys, I am hanging out in an airport lounge on my way to California. So y'all kind of pardon these really heinous lights. But I'm really excited that you guys get to hear from my...
You cut out.
Did y'all hear none of that?
It went out.
Okay, awesome. So anyway, I was just saying welcome and how just excited I am that we're here and that it's, you know, it's hard to believe that it's the end of another year, right? I think time really does fly when you love what you do. And so you guys, as we wrap up a year, it's our Last Nation Zoom for 2017. And I am just thrilled and honored to be able to share with you guys tonight my precious friend and my Arbonne sponsor, Miss Sara Langum, who those of you that have had any time soaking in this one's wisdom know what a gift she is, both inside and outside of Arbonne. And what I love most about Sara is that she is true to her authentic self. And she leads from the heart and she walks in the flow of the Spirit. And so I know whatever she has for us tonight is from that place. And so, sweet friend, thank you. I know it's been a rough day for you physically, so thank you for being on with us and just blessing us with the gift of you tonight.
Well, I will tell you that we are going to pray that the Holy Spirit comes on through. Okay, let's just pray for that. Because I told Sarah I got some bullet points. We're just praying that the Holy Spirit just fills in all the rest of the words. Man, you guys, what an incredible just honor and privilege it first of all was to be asked to be on this call and to get to spend some time with you. And I had to kind of like turn the faces off, you know, so I don't see everybody right now because I would just get so distracted to try to look and see like, who do I know and who do I not know? And there's so many of you guys and it really is. And you guys will all get to a place one day in this business where you kind of just can't believe it. Like you just kind of sit back and marvel at just how good God is, you know, and a lot of times you don't think you deserve it, but you know, he's called you here for a reason and for a purpose. And that's what this is. So there are so many, you guys are technically in my downline and success line. And so many of you guys I do know, and there's so many of you guys that I don't. And that is just, it's just kind of very humbling, I must say. And so I am just honored to be on here tonight. And I asked Sarah when she asked me to be on here, I was like, so do you have anything that you want me to talk about? And I knew what her answer would be. And it was exactly what I thought. And I had already been in that place of knowing that, you know, God has definitely in all of us has given us something to say, right? And whether that is a gift of words, whether that is a gift of, you know, writing on paper or in a book or something, whether it's speaking, whether it's just loving on people and wrapping your arms around them or whatever. We all have very unique gifts. And I have to say that I really feel like the Lord sometimes just has some words for me to say. And most of the time I don't even know what they're going to be. But I kept asking him earlier, okay, what is it? What do you want me to tell them? What? And, you know, I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but you go to that place of what can I say? You know, you guys are so blessed with some pretty incredible leadership that you guys hear from every month. And I'm blessed to call all of your VPs friends and to know all of them on a personal level as well. So it is, what am I going to share with them that's going to mean anything or help them in any way? And it's funny what came to me, and it just makes me know that God has a really good sense of humor. And it was this line that I read in a book, and I have chewed on this line for months now, because I think it might just be, I could probably say that it was like the story of my life or the mantra of my life. And so this is what kept coming to me, and I'm like, okay, this kind of makes sense, and maybe this will help. And that is, if you can't be an example, be a warning. And that's not deep or profound in any way. It's just funny, because I do look at my Arbonne business and you guys, I'm not the perfect example of an Arbonne consultant. And we're gonna get to that here in a minute. And there are a lot of things, this journey for me, 13 years in, a lot of lessons. And if I could say anything to you, I would say stick around just for that. It is amazing to see what God will do in you and through you if you let him, and if you're willing. And I wasn't, for a long period of time in my business, very willing. But when I became willing, and I knew that I wanted that, and boy, he's taught me a lot of things. But I do have to laugh, because last week I took my children to church, and my daughter invited a friend of hers, and I said, of course, we would take her home afterwards. And she kind of lives out in a weird, kind of wonky place. And we go to church in downtown Oklahoma City. And I don't always remember like exactly where I need to get on the highways from, where the exits and entrances are. So I plugged it into my GPS. I plugged it into my GPS really just to get out of downtown. And then I knew I could find it from there. But when I was going down I-40, y'all know I-40, right? We're so connected. When I was going down I-40, it was like having me exit, like way early and go this weird route. And I'm like, I don't want to go that route. That's like all these stop signs. I would just have to wait forever, So I continued to go on my planned route. And again, it's having me exit at like what would be not a really smart way to go. I was going to go get on the turnpike, because this girl lives right off the turnpike, and that's fast, right? And it kept telling me, like, every mile marker I would go, it was like warning me, basically. And so finally, with one more mile marker to go before I was going to have to get off on the turnpike, I kind of zoom in on my GPS, and the turnpike is red, like for miles and miles. And when I pushed on to go, how like you can click a different option on your GPS, I pushed on that one, and the time went up by 40 minutes. Okay. And thankfully I exited off. It still like took me way longer than it should have, but come to find out, watching the news later on, there was a man that was killed, and they had shut the whole turnpike down, and people had to wait on the turnpike for hours. Okay. So let's talk about a warning. Okay. How often in this business do we maybe know there's some, we have some kind of warning flags or whatever. And sometimes we want to continue on our own path, right? And we want to continue doing our own thing because maybe that's something that somebody told us we should do, or something that we heard somebody was successful at, or whatever. I've done it all, you guys. I mean, I've done everything in this business. After 13 years, you've tried it all. But you don't necessarily heed the warnings. And so I want to kind of be that warning for you, and maybe save you. I mean, we all have our own journey, but maybe save you a little bit of time, and not so much time in the waiting, if that makes sense. Because I will tell you, there's a lot of this business that is about waiting, and we kind of have to be okay with that and get totally comfortable in it, while we're working through it. But I was, obviously thinking about, ending the year, right? Like Sarah said, it is crazy to me how fast time goes. I don't know if it's because my children are getting older, or I've been in this business this long. Because when you work your business month by month, it feels like you cut everything up, and so thinking about what can I tell this amazing team on, ending 2017 and how to do that well, and what that's going to look like, and how to set you up for 2018 and all of those things. And I actually went back and found my list of like goals that I wanted to accomplish for the year. And I had written several things out, and I want you to know that I didn't hit all of them. I hit about half of them. And this is probably maybe the first real second, maybe kind of year that I'm totally okay with that. And in years past, I allowed what I accomplished in my Arbonne business, my title, my paycheck, all of those things to define my value and my worth as a human. And I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that. But it's very easy to, we're kind of taught that, right? We're kind of taught that growing up, that like what you become and what you do is really who you are. And I want you to know that that's not true. Arbonne is just a thing. And I used to make it the thing. And my journey to MVP and Arbonne was proving to myself and to whoever I thought I was proving it to that I could do that thing. And then once I did that, I would be successful, right? And then all those things that I thought, you know, were wrong in my life or wrong in my business, they would all just vanish and go away. And that's not reality. Reality is that success is rented, and you have to pay up over and over and over again. It is not something that you ever own in anything, much less this business. This business will teach you so much about yourself that it is worth it to stick around solely for that. And that may sound crazy, because when I came into Arbonne, we always talked about the cars and the trips and the money and the titles and the, and I'm so glad it doesn't feel like that as much anymore in Arbonne. And I think that has to do with a lot of us just kind of going, well, that's not really real. Like, you know, and under this business is so much more. And I'm so grateful. Like, I could never walk away from this for so many reasons. The people, the relationships, the friendships, that's my favorite. But honestly, you guys, like, taking what was just a broken girl and like this business, leading her to the place of wholeness and freedom. Gosh, it's crazy to me. And every single one of you can have that. And maybe you already do. And this is just gravy, you know, and that's even better. But this business will do for you whatever you need it to do. And when you allow God to show you that, I didn't know that 13 years ago when I started Arbonne. I think I probably would have gone running for the hills if they told me that. But I'm so grateful for it now. And so I'm in some growth mode, you guys, and I even have numbered points for you tonight. So it may be like the first time in my Arbonne business that I have numbers for a training, but I do want to talk to you guys about what it means to finish well. And some of you are on this today thinking, man, like 2017 was killer. I killed it out of the park. I did more than I thought I was going to do. I hit all my goals. I'm a rock star. And you're feeling really good about your business right now. And I want to high five you for that. Oh, it says my internet connection is unstable. Can y'all hear me okay? Yeah? Okay. And some of you are ending the year and maybe you didn't hit one of your goals or any of them, you know, or maybe you didn't hit half of them or whatever. And you might be feeling a little defeated. And I hope that maybe by the end of tonight that I can give you a little bit of perspective on what it really means to finish well. Regardless of your stats, your numbers, all of that. Because again, that isn't what defines us, right? Your title in Arbonne will never define you. It never means you're successful. There's probably some of you that are brand new in Arbonne that are doing crazy, amazing things right now. And that's successful. But more than anything, what I love to share with people is that you're here and you're still here and you've stuck around. And for me, like that's part of it, you know, and you are fully successful just in that. Okay. So number one on how we're going to finish well is don't lose sight of the big picture, especially so early on in the journey. And I'm saying this to myself 13 and a half years in. You guys, we're so early on in the journey. And we have to remember that, you know, again, big picture thinking. Don't let 1 year, whether it was amazing for you or whether it was not, define your Arbonne journey or who you are, or even make you feel sad or, you know, not good enough, not enough, you know, any of those things, because this sliver is so small in the big picture of what Arbonne is about. I mean, I don't see any of us on here that are like in our 90s and like croaking. So we have plenty of time to do some things, right, in this business. And I think so often we can get so focused in on that narrow view of, even if it's like, well, I'm pushing for a title, or I'm pushing for promotion, and that's all I can focus on. And we can kind of lose sight of the bigger picture of what it's all about. Or you had all these goals and you wanted to achieve these things and maybe you didn't. And that can feel defeating. But what I want to encourage you guys to do, instead of thinking it as, you know, a failure or anything like that, think of it as an opportunity to learn. And when I started going back in my business and looking at whether it was a month or a person that I sponsored and they didn't stay, because that happens to us VPs too, y'all. Like it's not just, you know, just the consultants, it's all of us. This happens. Or maybe you didn't hit your bonus and you wanted to, or maybe you didn't earn the AIT trip. I didn't last year. Okay. But I'm not going to die. Right. And it didn't make me think I didn't want to do Arbonne before, because I know that this business is so much more than those things. And there's a higher purpose and a pursuit of a calling on your life, on my life, on every single person's life that you're going to talk about this business. And you guys, there are other people's blessings that are tied to your obedience. Okay. And when you think about that and what this business has to offer so many other people, and whether you've been in this a month, like you probably know that there's some really amazing people in this business. There's some amazing things going on in this business. It's life-changing, right? There's plenty of proof that it is. And so you have the opportunity to change someone's life for the better by sharing this business with them. So don't allow those small setbacks, or maybe those things that you didn't accomplish, or maybe things that, you know, that have been frustrating. I have to tell you, I had some frustrating moments the other day, and I had to call my sponsor 13 years in and be like, you got to talk me off a ledge. You know, you're just going to have to. And we all have those moments, because you know why? We're human. And you know what? Arbonne is run by humans. And so it's not going to be perfect. So again, big picture thinking will go a long, long way for you in this business. And for me, and this is just my journey, but really, really focusing on the bigger picture of what I personally am called to do, and then how Arbonne fits into that. And Arbonne allows me the opportunity to do that. Okay. Okay. Number 2. Can you believe it? I'm on numbers. Don't try to master everything. I can't think of the saying. My brain's not all functioning right, but something about there's a TV show called Master of None, but it's that whole premise of like, you can't try to master everything, because then you'll master nothing, right? And Arbonne is a business, and especially now with social media, you know, we didn't have that early on in our business. So I just kind of would like do the thing that worked for me. Okay. And then came social media, which, I mean, this is part of technology, right? Us being able to, me be in Oklahoma City, and some of y'all in Kentucky, and some of y'all in Arkansas, and some of you, Sarah's in California, and wherever else you guys are, that we can communicate. And that's a blessing. And social media is a blessing in some ways too, but it can kind of be a curse too, right? Because we see like other things and other success, and we think, oh, well, if that's what they're doing, I'm going to go do that. And I'm not saying that it's always a bad thing. I'm just saying that along the line of your pursuit, okay, I want to encourage you to find the thing that you love, that you're passionate about, and then go love and serve people that way. Okay. And something that I have been saying for years, and I think I've just been preaching it from the mountaintops, and maybe it'll catch on, but that Arbonne is not black and white. It is a whole lot of gray. And we need to learn as leaders to live in the gray. Because you know what's there? Grace. And that is what we should focus on when we're offering this business to our team and to people, is that, you know what? There's a lot of ways you can be successful at Arbonne. And whether that is your passion to help families get healthy, or whether that is your passion to help people build a business and get out of the rat race and out of debt, or whether you love helping women feel good about themselves through skincare and cosmetics, whatever it is, whether you get jazzed up and excited about group presentations, or you love sitting in a coffee shop and sipping on some Java with somebody and learning about them and getting to know them, you're going to figure out in this business, and it might take you a little while, what you're good at and what you're passionate about. And I'm just going to encourage you to do that thing, whether that fits in a perfect system or not. I mean, your leaders might be going, what is she saying? I'm just saying what I believe has gotten so many people stuck in Arbonne over and over and over again. And I say that because that's me. So like, I'm not necessarily a good example of an Arbonne consultant, because for almost my entire Arbonne career, we were all about the party system, and many people still are, right? And I didn't always have 6 parties, but I could always find 2,500 at least, or 5,000 and five. I mean, but it's because I would do what I was good at. But I would feel bad about that sometimes because it wasn't the system. So I didn't feel like I was doing it right. And so I just want to like take some pressure off, you guys. Like, let's take a deep breath and all like live in some gray, and know that when you find what you want to pursue in this business, and it may be all of it. We can all, love parts of all of it, because I do. I actually love parts of all of it. But that happened over time. I have to tell you, I used to be so afraid of coffee appointment one-on-ones. Now, I kind of love them. But I grew into that. I just want you guys to know that, I mean, Arbonne has a system for us, right? It's basically the success plan. And so what we choose to do, we want to give people tracks to run on. And I'm not saying like buck the system of what your leaders are telling you. I am just saying, though, give yourself a little grace in it. Okay. As a leader, give your team some grace in that, and help them figure out how to pursue what is going to make them want to build this business. Okay. Because again, we know Arbonne's just a thing. It's just the vehicle. It's just the thing that God has put us in, okay, to really go out and love and serve people well. So let's focus on that and not get so caught up in the black and white, put people in a box. And really, in many ways, we lose people because of that. Because you guys know those colors. I'm a whole lot of yellow, Gina, whoop, whoop, and I'm a whole lot of red too. So I love to have fun, but I also need some structure, okay, at the same time. And that didn't always work for the system all the time, okay? All right, everybody still with me? I feel like everybody froze up. Did I freeze up? Can't tell. I'm just gonna keep going. Hopefully it's okay. When y'all text me if I'm frozen. Okay, so the third thing that I want to tell you guys to do to help you guys finish well and lead into 2018 is just to trust. And whoa, that can be hard sometimes, right? Just trust that this business works. There's so much evidence of it, y'all. I mean, there's so much evidence it's ridiculous that it works. But what I want you to know is that trust that your journey is perfect for you. Okay. And I think so often it's easy to get caught up in, somebody that's moving quickly, or somebody that's built their entire business on social media, so you see it everywhere, or, you know, somebody that's been in a lot less time than you have, that's seeing more success than you are. Or you can get caught up in, you know, maybe you got to a certain level, but you've gone back. You guys, I can tell you that probably every person that's been in this business for any amount of time hasn't just done this. Okay, that's not reality. Every business on the planet kind of does this. And you hope that along the way, you end up there, but it's not always going to be perfect and exactly like you want it. You know, like I love when we map out a plan. I love that. And we need to do that because we need visuals. But again, in the gray, we got to know that most of the time, in my case, 100% of the time, it has never worked out exactly like I thought it would, or I'd planned for it to. Okay. And that's because that wouldn't give God any glory, right? And he kind of wants to go, hey, wait a minute, I want to do this with you. Okay. And it's not going to look like what you have planned. And so just trust that your leaders, your upline, they love you and they want you to be successful so badly. And they want to do everything possible to make that happen. But again, they're human. They're not always going to be perfect. They're not always going to say the things that you want them to. They may have to speak a little tough love, but they want the best for you. And this company, you guys, it's not perfect, but it's darn near close. Okay. I've been with this business for 13 years and I've never seen anything come close to the people, the leadership, the relationships that are a part of this company. And again, like I said earlier, that's probably, I mean, that is the factor for me, is that I know that God put me here for a reason, and he's put these people in my life that have helped shape me and grow me to become the person. And I'm not even close to being done yet. I know that God still has layers for me to unravel and to learn and to get better, because that's just what we do. It's a lifetime journey of that. I don't ever want to be done in this business or with really becoming that person that God has for me. And so you guys, I want you to know that it's so easy to get caught up, kind of going back to the black and white, right? But getting caught up in the how of Arbonne. And I want you to know that the how can sometimes be the biggest vision killer for your business. And yes, there is a how, right? We have to know what we're doing. But when you focus on that, it can kill your vision. So trust, you guys, in the journey, in purpose and call for you. And how do you want to love people? You guys, I literally have spent a year waking up every day saying, Lord, who do you want me to talk to today? Lord, who can I serve today? How can I show people who you are and how big you are today? Okay. And that came out of lots of unshackling and lots of getting rid of layers. And that may not work for everybody. Okay. But again, I had to stop focusing on how I wanted it to happen and just focusing on the why of it, right? Why am I here? What am I called to do? And bottom line, and I'll just finish with this, is really, you guys, we're just called to love and love like crazy and love some more and do it again over and over and over again. And when you do that in this business and you help people find their way and their calling and the best version of them and help them to pursue that right there, my friends, is all about success. So I wish you a very successful December, a very huge end to 2017. I love you guys like crazy. I'm blessed, so blessed and honored to have such amazing people on my team and in my life. And I'm just so grateful to have been able to offer a word tonight. So thank you, everybody. Bye.
We love you, Sarah.
Love you guys.
Thank you, sweet friend. Every one of us, here are here because of your yes. So your obedience is our blessing. And you guys, that's a really powerful thing when you think about the magnitude of your yeses, right? The people that get to come inside of those ripples and create more because you're faithful to the thing that God's called you to, and you're faithful when you don't know the hows, right? And you know, you guys, I love what Sarah said, because I had a conversation with someone on our team just a few days ago about, you know, honestly, how long it took me, you know, inside of Arbonne even to find my sweet spot, you know, to find my fit, to find the way that felt like me and the place that felt like home within my business. So I just wanted to say thank you, Sarah, for reminding us, you guys, if you're called, this is what I know is, like, if we're called here and we're purposed here, we may not have that big picture yet. We may not know the fullness of that yet. But if we were faithful to just go, you know what? He wouldn't have put me someplace where I can't be me, where I can't do me, where I can't flourish, where I can't be in a place of abundance and purpose, because that's who he is, right? And so I just thank you for those beautiful reminders, straight from the heart. And as we close out this year, we are also blessed by you. So thank you for loving us well. And I pray that headache's gone, sister. All right, you guys, I will switch gears here for just a second and share a little bit of announcements, and then I'll kick us off with some recognition before I go bebopping back out to this next gate. But you guys, really, really exciting things for December. I'll try to be brief. Hopefully you guys had a chance to watch the little short video I did on the AIT trip. So that launched just a couple of days ago. We're super excited about that. All of the details are on the source, so you can check them out there, or on the Seven Nation Army page as well. But you guys, a couple of other announcements. As you know, Arbonne's doing the Pure Perk promotion. I have to say that really slow. There's no telling how that would come out. But the first half of every month, they feature a product or products at a deeper discount. So just to kind of give us a volume driver in the first half of the month. And so this month, it's the Evolution set. So it's the Full Control and the Thermo Booster. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. Great thing to promote. Our Success Line Nation, Success Line Christmas party is going to be next, I don't even know what day it is. Next Friday, I think, the 15th. At 7 at my house. It is for spouses, bring a guest. We're really excited, Mark and I, to host all of you. So we hope that you can come. Register for that AIT trip this month, okay? Don't forget, because that's what tells Arbonne, hey, I'm going for it, so that they know to double every dollar you do in your district. And then really quick and exciting news is that your paychecks should be in your account on Wednesday, right? On the 6th, hallelujah. They know it's December and we have shopping to do. So yay for that. That's a huge win. And then recognition, I will kick us off, and then we will just kind of cascade on down. But you guys, congrats on a beautiful November. Beautiful, beautiful month. I am so excited. You guys are just really, you ran with the tools that Arbonne gave you. And it was really, really evident in your activity and your excitement. And of course, that ends up showing up in web stats too. So 24 or more contacts in the Wilson Central region. Myself, that $2,500 building block. I just wanted to recognize these guys, because doing this consistently is what really builds momentum in your business. And so that's Miss Jamie McKinney, Rachel Modeleski, myself, Kara Job, Melinda Collier, and Shayla J. Barnett. 5 new direct signups last month, myself and Rachel Modeleski. District manager qualification, Miss Paula Mallory and Miss Johanna Sobosinski. Let's see, new district manager, super proud of our Rachel Modeleski. You guys, if if you haven't gotten a chance, I'm sure most of you had, to really see Rachel's story and her commitment over the last 2 months since her last mission trip to really work her business and give 100% of her paycheck to Blue Door, to the sponsorship of those kiddos and the building of a school. It's, you guys, sorry I get a little choked up, but it's just like Sarah said, you guys, it's not about the house, right? I mean, Rachel came and said in my sunroom floor and said, I have no idea what I'm doing, right? But I know why I have to do it. And you guys, when you know your why, everything else will just pan out, right? So Rach, we're so proud of you. District manager bonus, Carla Casiola and myself, and my area bonus as well. So Miss Gina, I will tee it up to you, sis.
All right. Yeah, just so proud of everyone for such an incredible month. Just blown away. So for In My Central, 24 plus contacts were myself, Jane Marie, and Alex Haygood. 2,500 PQV, just wanted to throw that out there because I know people are working for the trip, but that was myself, Rhonda, and then I got to brag on Jane Marie. She did over 5,000, so she's eye on the prize for the trip, and just super excited just to watch her business grow. Sponsoring Jane Marie with 7, and then myself and my sweet mom with 6. DM qualifications, we have Kathy Dawson, sponsored by Jane Marie, and Crystal, I think she's still on here. Crystal Baker is in Louisiana, and she is sponsored by Jane Marie, and she worked so hard at the last minute to get in qualification, and so we were all doing the happy dance for her, just super excited. And then we have Rita Parrish in qualification, sponsored by my mom, and then Kim Schluterman, sponsored by myself in qualification. And then bonus earners, myself, my mom, and Jane Marie. So just an incredible month all around. Just so proud of everyone. So Sharon, I'm going to turn it over to you. I know you had just a phenomenal month, you and your team. So just huge shout outs to you guys.
Thank you so much. Okay, cool. So top activity goes to Karen Renard, Teresa Evans, Brianna Decker, which I'm so proud of, April Moore, Holly Friedman, and Megan Middleton, Amy Knox, and myself. Top sponsoring High Five Club goes to myself with 9. In qualification for district manager goes to Rachel Murdershaw, which she wants to go to Jamaica, so she's like all about it, right? Let's see here, Nohemi Aldacor, I have to make sure I say it slow, Teresa Evans, and Melanie Nobleman, all in qualification for district manager. Bonus earners are myself with DM and area, and then these girls really hustled to get those double points for Jamaica. So Holly Friedman, Megan Middleton, April Moore, and Brianna Decker, I'm so proud of you guys. We're going to Jamaica. So I'm going to turn it over to Miss Kara Chapman. Let her tell her region. Thank you.
Hey guys, November was so much fun getting to start earning that trip early. For that 2,500 PQV block, Miss Autumn Wolfenberger and myself, we both did that. Top sponsoring, I had 5 new, and we have 3 in qualification for district manager. Talitha Alverson, Melissa Stone, and Lisa McCrae are all in strong quals. And then I did my district and area manager bonus. All right, Renee, your turn.
Okay. We'll start with the $2,500 brick. That's something we've been, or the block, because I'm giving everyone who hits the $2,500 a block with a letter that spells out motivation or inspirational quote. So those, I'm so proud that we've got more than 1 or 2. We've got Kim Hill with her block, myself, Molly, Ann, and Sherry. DM Qual, we've got Rhonda, who is sponsored by Ann. Sherry, who is sponsored by Kim Hill. Crystal, who is sponsored by Kim Hill. Deanna Payne is in DM Qual, and she's sponsored by Dottie. And Caitlin Hargis is in DM Qual again, and she's sponsored by Ann. Consultant bonus was Sherry and Rhonda earned that. DM bonus was Ann Lee and myself. Double points for the trip. I earned that, as well as Sherry. And then we've got a new area manager in Qual, and that is Kim Hill, that you all are going to hear from tonight. I don't know. I've messed up. I don't know who's speaking next. I don't think it's Kim, though. Maybe it's Gina. Are you speaking next?
Yeah, it's Gina.
Okay.
Oh my God,
So
my husband is cracking me up, y'all. He's going, Gina, go for it. You can do it. Oh, I know, it is hilarious. Oh gosh. Okay, so I wanted to just kind of share a little bit from my heart tonight before I turn it over to Kim. I'll try to be quick because I know we're running out of time, but I'm coming off of a hard season, and like Sarah was saying, we have highs and we have lows. And so for me, not only did I have highs and lows in business, but I also had highs and really lows in personal life with everything that went on with my son this past year. And so we were dealing with some just hard junk. And so I appreciate just all the grace that my team has given me this past year. And so I am so blessed and so ready for a new season. Like, I am just so thrilled, which kind of brings me into kind of some shifts that I had when we went to AIT Mexico. So God has a sense of humor. And the resort that Arbonne announced the trip was the resort that my son got married at. And so lots of, beautiful memories at that place. And so I just was really tugged about, do we go? Do we not go? I really don't know. And the closer it was getting, I was like, I really want to go because I want to make new memories there. But then, all this other stuff that went on, can I go and really just be relaxed? I don't know. And so, and also I had a hysterectomy this year. I mean, it's just been a really tough year. And so I decided I'm going to go. So, and I think when we have those battles like that, we really need to think, kind of like, why is Satan fighting me so hard? Like, why is he just so adamant about putting all this head trash in here about me not going on this trip? And so I can tell you the reasons why he didn't want me to go. So they do a half day of training. And Tracy Schultz, she's a MVP, I think in California or somewhere. And she's doing her talk about how you really want to grow your nutrition business and, all this stuff that we've heard a million times, right? And one of the things that she said is, she's like, we have a 2.6 million success line per month in nutrition. And I think it was either Kim Miles or Sarah Davenport was right beside me. And I just looked at them and rolled my eyes. And I'm like, that just pisses me off. Like, she's been in like 5 years. I'm just celebrating 11 years. Why does she have this $2.6 million success line? I mean, I can only imagine what her checks are, just all of this stuff. And I was mad. And so I left there and I ran into Deanna. And Deanna is just one of those people that I just absolutely admire and love. And just, she's just been so gracious with me and my family. And so I ran into her and Deanna has a way of just looking you in your eyes and just reaching into your soul, right? And so I'm talking to her and I was like, Deanna, I'm mad. And she goes, well, tell me why you're mad. And I said, well, that Tracy girl has 2.6 million a month in nutrition. And I'm like the poster child. And my team, that's all we do. And, they're just popping out areas and regions like they're Tic Tacs, and we're over here and we deserve that too. And I'm just mad. And she said, well, are you serious? Do you want your business to look like that? And I was like, well, yes. She goes, meet me for breakfast. So obviously, if Deanna says meet me for breakfast, you go. So we went to breakfast and I sat with her and she just kind of poured out what they've been really seeing in their business, really focusing on nutrition. And so she said, Gina, when you started, what did you focus on? And I was like, well, it's skincare because that's all that we had, right? And so I grew my business because that's all I was laser beam focused on was skincare. And I think for us, there's so many products and there's so many systems and there's so many this and that we do a little bit of everything, but we're not really good at just that one thing. Like we're not just like, I'm going to do this. And so she kind of really just went over the plan of you need to focus every month on 8 ASVPs and 5 of those need to be clean eaters. Okay. And then here's where kind of the things that you hear, but then like they all click all of a sudden. And, you know, this is how those people that are growing those huge success lines and they're doing it and they're doing it really well and they're doing MVP within 2 years. What they're doing is they're making sure that those 5 clean eaters are bringing in 2 to 3 people. Because if you tell me I've got to find 15 clean eaters this month, I'm going to freak out, right? But if you tell me I got to find 5, and then my goal, my mission is to help them find 5 people that can do it with them. And then the cool thing that she just did on a training call last night was, you know, those referrals, they may not come on the front end. Okay, because I was getting upset because I'm like, well, I've got these, they haven't given me their referrals yet. But she said, you know, it can come at the middle, you know, as they're starting to feel good and they're starting to share the results, or it can come at the end of the 30 days when they're doing their side by side, right? But that 5 is going to lead you to getting 15. And that's where you really start seeing momentum in your business. So those were some big shifts. Another big shift was as I was, you know, getting all of this information and, you know, she was giving me all the forms and how to do everything and how to work it. 2 things. She said, or one thing was that I got a thump on the head from him. And that's because I was so obsessing over this 2.6 million success line and how much money that is. And God just came over me and he said, it's not about the money. That's 2.6 million in nutrition that lives are changed. And when you can get that, sister, your business will change. It will grow. And I'm like, okay, I hear you. It's not about the money. It's about that we do have the opportunity to love and serve and to really find our sweet spot and do it well. And so that was a big shift. And then another shift that happened was that at Deanna's retreat center, on the back of her wall is a thing, just some lettering, and it says gather. And so I don't even know if she realized this, but she was doing a training, and you know, we've been taught, especially for those that have been in for a while, you know, the 6 parties a month, 6 to be great, 8 to, I don't even know, and 10 to win, whatever that party system is. And if you're like me, you know, I mean, I try so hard to get my calendar booked, and I may not get that quota of parties on because people are turning me down right and left, and my business partners are coming in and they're getting frustrated because they can't get their calendars booked. And Deanna just said, you know, parties are kind of outdated. You know, we're just doing one-on-ones, and, you know, we'll go meet people and gather. People want to gather. Whether they gather at a coffee shop or they gather at somebody's kitchen table or they gather, you know, at a wellness workshop, it's just getting in front of them. But for me, it was like, oh my gosh, like I just got freedom, freedom of, I don't have to like focus so much on that 6, 8, 10, and then, you know, feeling like a failure if I don't get that. So that was so freeing for me. And when I got back from Mexico, I focused on doing a reset. So if you haven't done a reset in a while, do one and pull people on the journey with you. So be authentic and be posting on Facebook, but in a really cool way where it's just, you know, you and you're not being salesy. So if you kind of go back to my Facebook wall where, you know, I did some Facebook lives about the husband and I doing it. And people started coming to me. People started inboxing me wanting to be on the nutrition plan. And I came back from Mexico without a full calendar. I had nothing on. And I signed up 6 new direct clean eaters the week I got back from the trip. Okay. So all of that to say, if you can just focus figure out that thing that you're good at. And if you really, really want to just work on nutrition, I think most of us that are on this call have a solid nutrition business. That's where you want to go. And so I think this is absolutely hilarious. To wrap mine up, can y'all see that? It says systems, right? And Sarah's talking about, we don't have systems. We don't have systems. The system is whatever your system is. The system is getting in front of 40 faces, whatever that looks like, okay? 40 faces, 8 ASVPs, 5 of those need to be nutrition, 3 can be free, whatever, it can be ultrasounds or makeup or skincare to have a balanced business, but 5 need to be nutrition. And if you can focus on that, if that's your system, you're going to work and do this really well with ease. So, and wrapping up, this was a devotional that I had, and if you're on the Bible plan, it's called The Favor of Kings. It's just how to being highly favored in life. And it's all about Nehemiah. And so if you know the story behind Nehemiah, he worked for the king. He had a really cool job. He didn't get sweaty and dirty, but God called him to rebuild the wall. Right. And so, this is, I'm just going to read it and then I'll turn it over to Kim, but it's Nehemiah chapter 3, verses 3, 6, 13, 14, and 15. They virtually say the same thing. They rebuilt the gate, set up its doors, and installed its bolts and bars. 5 different verses, same statement. Why would Nehemiah be so redundant unless he was making his point? His point, we had a system. There is a map of the wall identifying each gate in the appendix. Each gate was named intentionally and intuitively and served a purpose for the community in the time it was designed. Clearly, Nehemiah felt that the purpose of the gates were still relevant to his community, or at least valuable for their culture and tradition. So he paid close attention to rebuilding each gate from the start, and he used a strategic, systemized approach. Don't let your eyes glaze over. This matters for you. No great project is accomplished without systems. Here's my simple definition of a system: a pattern of behavior that results in a desired outcome. So Dan and Heath called it scripture changing, where you clearly define the outcomes you want and the micro steps needed to be engaged and repeated to accomplish the desired outcome. Most well-meaning dreamers don't put legs to their visions and never end up accomplishing their dream projects. And most who do don't see them through. The reason? It's not willpower. It's not a matter of intelligence. It's not about opportunity. The reason? They didn't have strong enough convictions to find and follow a system. Nehemiah created a system for rebuilding each gate. He laid the beams, they set up the doors, they installed its bolts and bars. So if you were assigned to a gate, that is what you did. You didn't do more things and you didn't do fewer things. They focused, you guys. You did these things until they were finished. Then when the gates reconstructed, serving as banners of God's blessing and construction momentum, the people moved on to areas of the wall with a little bit more confidence. Progress leads to more progress. Defining a process leads to more confidence that progress is actually possible. I don't know how to rebuild a massive wall that no one else has figured out to build, but I can probably flail around for a while until I sort out how to lay beams, set up doors, and install bolts and bars. Script the change you wish to see. So how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Progress leads to more progress. We stack one stone on top of another. We create systems to make the work more manageable. Before we know it, we've made enough progress to justify enthusiasm and confidence that success is possible. So our foundation, our building, our gates, all of this is our clean eaters, okay? It's our 5 and then getting those 2 to 3. And when we can follow that system, and then when we can coach people and coach them well, because we've got 30 days to partner with them, the conversion rate for them, going from a clean eater to a consultant is so high. So I say all of that just with laser focus. Find what your passion is. You know, everyone deserves to feel their best, and we have the best products, the best coaching system to be able to marry both of those. So that's all I've got tonight. Kim, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I'm just super proud of you for pushing and working with your team and getting qualification for area manager. I watched your Facebook Live with you just pouring out your heart, and just I know that you want to desperately be there with your mom and dad, and we are just praying for them and praying for you. So your turn.
Well, thank you. Now I got to close without crying. So I just I kind of wanted to share with you guys the last week. Right before we finished area. And so, you know, I guess this is just really about trusting and believing and continuing to just push. And the devil will come at you. So on Sunday, we were not close to area. We still had quite a ways to go. And we had to say goodbye to our family dog of 14 years. We kind of knew it was coming, but it came a lot faster than I was expecting. And so I had to just take the kids in, and we all had to say goodbye to this dog that had been there before the kids. So you just want to then just curl up and just be sad and not think about anything. I mean, this was just, we lost a family member. So that was devil number one. So that was on Sunday afternoon. Well, then Monday morning comes, and I'm getting the kids ready for school, and I drive my son to the bus stop and drop him off, and then I go to work. So we go downstairs, and I turn the key in the car. The car battery is dead. The car does not work. It is dead. So we scramble into my husband's car, and we jump in, and I drive my son to the bus stop, and he hops out, and he's running for the bus, and we're already late, and I have to go back home and then get my husband to drive me to work. So I get to work, and so I've got a dog that's gone now, and now the car battery is dead. And you just want to give up. You're thinking, I'm so far away, and the devil's coming at me. So I follow One Catholic Note on Instagram. So basically God talks to me through Instagram. You should try it. So I go and I'm checking Instagram, and this is the Instagram that comes up, and it says, "Blessed is she who has believed that the Lord would fulfill his promises to her." About cried at work. So I thought, oh my gosh, okay, let's keep going. He's not giving up. He knows what's happening. We're going to keep pushing. So that was on Monday. I didn't get a single order on Monday. So on Tuesday, I'm checking my Instagram again. And this is the Instagram on One Catholic Note. Watch, stand fast in the faith, be brave, be strong. Okay, he still knows that he's talking to me. I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't know that we're going to make it because I can't see the how. Sarah kind of talked on that. When you can't see the how, I'm very type A. I have to know how. So I didn't know how. I just had to believe. So I thought, okay, I've gotten 2 Instagrams, and I know it sounds, but I'm hard-headed. Apparently he has to use Instagram. So we kept pushing. So on Wednesday, still was very far away, but I got, where is it? I got one final Instagram on Wednesday, and it is just this: he will finish what he has started. So my car went into the shop on Tuesday. They kept it overnight, and I still didn't have a car by Wednesday. He will finish what he has started. And I really did start crying at work that day. We just kept pushing. And so then on Thursday, still kind of far away, was at work all day, got home that night, kept pushing. And about 10:30, I thought the orders were done. I just was still far. Didn't think it was going to happen, and I kind of got exhausted. So I went and got my rosary and just kind of sat in my chair and prayed the rosary for 30 minutes. It's that's a very Catholic thing, but it's very calming. And you're praying to Mary to intercede, because Jesus loves his mom. Every boy loves his mom. If you have a boy, you know that boys love their moms. So if you pray to Mary and say, I need a little help, mamas then go and take care of it. This just calm and peace came over me. We kept pushing, and then, he provided. The orders just all of a sudden just finished. So I did kind of put in one last order to push us a little bit over. And it was an order for 2 shower sets for our women's shelter. And then I was finished. So I just was getting ready to go to bed, but I needed to wind down for a second. So I just logged back onto Facebook, and I had one more message from a friend saying, I have no idea why I'm up this late. She's a teacher and has to get up really early. She said, but I want that Genius Ultra if you can still get that for me. And so one last order about 11:45 to just kind of really just push us completely over the edge. And so I texted her the next morning and said, hey, I got that for you. And I'm sorry you were up so late, but God kept you up because I needed your help. So I appreciate you more than you can ever know, and you're going to love your Genius Ultra. So just, you have to know that when the devil comes, God is bigger than the devil. And this was all him. I was way too far away to do it on my own. I didn't have a how. It just came. And when I was ready to give up, he uses Instagram for me. He probably uses better ways for everybody else, but I need a little sign, and so it has to just show up. So he did it, and this was completely him. And so I just want you all to just, when you're ready to give up, when the devil is just, you think that he's got you, just give it back to God, and God will show up, and he'll push you through. So he knows that I need to take care of my parents. He knows that I can't stay at work 40 hours a week. He knows, and he will provide. And this was all him. So that's my motivational close. One Catholic note on Instagram. It's great. I don't know if we're done or if I have to turn it back over.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for sharing. And I love that. I'm gonna have to follow that Instagram. I totally think he can speak to us in whatever way that we hear. So just so proud of all of you guys for an incredible month. And I know December and just moving forward is just gonna be awesome. So just love you guys. Merry Christmas. If y'all are in Kentucky next weekend, I think I told a few girls, but Billy is playing in Louisville on Saturday. So if that's close to you guys, pop in and watch the Razorbacks play. So, all right, I'm hopping off here, and have a great evening, everyone. Bye.